I'm going to get started while I'm here. Um, I didn't know I was going to go live. I supposed to went live earlier after the judge gave her decision on Naziah Harris. Naziah Harris is going to get justice, y'all. They alleged, said that she was 12, she's 13. It doesn't matter. 13, 12 doesn't matter. But she didn't deserve what happened to her. And I'm glad that the judge felt the way she felt because she called him, "You are the monster." And he was preyed on. He's a praying mantis. Hey, baby. Hey, Jesse Jane. He prayed on that baby. He prayed on that baby. Y'all know we've been following this for a while. And I learned a lot through this preliminary trial. I learned a lot, man. I learned a lot. And she didn't deserve this. She didn't deserve this. Zaya didn't deserve this. She didn't get no attention. Want nobody paying her no attention. And people I always got something to say. I said if you want children, hold on, y'all. If have children because you want children. Have children because you want children. Don't just be having me, baby. That man about like 13. I don't know how many, y'all. I don't know how many children did this man have. 13, 14, 15. I don't know, y'all. Then when he was just making babies in the world, he was just making babies. Making babies. And them women just still have them. Just pulling them out. And pull Naziah. Where's her mama? Where's her daddy? They left her with her grandmama. They left her with the grandmother. That's not fair. That's not fair. Grandmama needed her glasses when she needed her glasses. 1 minute the grandma said that Shannon didn't stay there. Shannon said she lived in the house. It was so much confusion going on in this trial until they confused me just like they did Naziah. I know, y'all. But what we gonna do, just like the judge said, he was a monster. Women wanted to marry him. He had a fiance. Y'all know what? Only thing I don't like about this trial, it was just like Ayanna trial. We don't have her body. We don't have her body. He not even telling us what he did with the baby. And y'all know what? I wouldn't doubt that he didn't have his son in this situation. Cause you remember, if don't nobody care, then you need to get out the channel. If y'all don't care, why y'all be coming on people's channel? Jesus. Get off him. God, cause these people who don't care, y'all, trust me, they doing the same thing he doing. So just move the people who don't care. People who don't care is just like Jarvis. That's why they don't care. If you don't care, you want to came in here and say you didn't care because you care. Folks need to watch you. Now, we don't have a body. We don't have a body. We got the clothes like we did Ayanna. Only person clothes we had was Breasia. We're going to get into the judge decision. It's too many monsters going around here, ladies. Stop ignoring the monsters, signs, and save our babies, because that's what we got to do. Save our babies. Anytime somebody come in your chat and you talking about a child they can't find, and they say, who cares? Them the people that you need to look out for around your children. Anybody that don't care, you better watch out for people who say they don't care. Who cares? Them the people that you don't need around. Them be the ones y'all get the babies too. Y'all be getting babies. Well, let's listen to what the judge got to say.
Case regarding a trial, and the one thing I had highlighted the quote, in this case there was no physical evidence such as bloodstains or weapons leaking defendant to Joyce's death. In this case, we don't have the same facts or circumstances. I do agree this is a circumstantial case, and circumstantial evidence is sufficient for a bind over and even conviction.
What's up, let's hit.
Today is January 9th, 2025, exactly 1 year, from the day Josiah Harris disappeared. Before I get into the charges, and the main charge of premeditated first-degree murder, I have to speak on Josiah Harris and the community who failed her. And I am only presented with certain evidence. I don't know the whole story. The attorney knows more than me, the family knows more than me. But from what I have heard over the last 4 days and 5 days total, is that several people failed her. I don't know where her mother is. I don't know anything other than that she was forced to live in a home where she was not protected or given the adequate attention and love. I don't know where her father is. I don't have any mention of him in her life, no presence. To Cordell, aka King, and all the men who saw Jarvis Butts hanging out and always around these young girls, including Desire, and his 9-year-old daughter going up to the shop to clean up the shop. The school counselor who never showed up, or the person who was supposed to show up if that counselor was absent, after Desire was on the floor on the day she went missing, saying that she needed to speak to someone and speak to a counselor. There's no mention of CPS, but I wonder what their involvement was over the years, because this was not just a 1-year thing. Their text messages at least from 2022. To her adoptive grandmother, Annette Harris, whose testimony, in my opinion, was very questionable. I understand why the people put her on the stand to establish Desir's residence and the houses on Bedford and the regular routine, to establish also that Desire was not a runaway child, that she was not a bad kid. I do believe she adopted Desire. I do believe that she had 6 kids in the house. I believe that Desire had on a dark hoodie the day she went missing, and that she had on red and black Nikes that day. What is hard to believe is that the defendant never came into the house as she testified. And there was also a minor that testified that he did as well. Text messages that show between him and Desire that he did in the basement, saying he was going to the shower, stealing her panties. He was always lurking around that house and asking for Janiyah and Zaniyah, from what I know. I even thought about the breakfast routine and saying that all the kids like eating breakfast at school. Did they have a choice? I don't know. But to send those girls up there to clean up the shop raises questions. And how were there 2 women in that house who themselves did not notice that Desire was pregnant, and I believe she was, and not having her period anymore? But then after hearing text messages today, begging Jarvis for pads as if she didn't have anyone else to give them for her. And what stood out the most was when Annette Harris stood on the stand, and she learned around 6 p.m. that Desire was home from school, and said she looked around for her and decided to wait until the next morning to call the police.
I couldn't understand that either, guys.
Without a tear, without emotion, or an expression of
You know what, y'all? Now, the way, what the same thing the judge said, I couldn't understand. Same thing the judge said, I couldn't understand. How can nobody know? I know the lady, I know the Shannon girl had 5 children in the house. Nasia, Naziah mom wasn't even around. She didn't care, so the mama had adopted her. And we don't even know who her father was. Poor little baby, her brother ran away. It's the reason why her brother ran away. Soon her brother ran away. It left an open door for Naziah. Naziah didn't deserve this, y'all. It's so many Naziahs out there because we don't pay attention to our kids. We don't. We so busy telling the grown people what to do, but we ain't giving the kids no kind of attention. How they not gonna know this and that about Naziah? It's too much going on, y'all. I don't care. I don't care if it was my niece. I still gonna treat her good.
And to her Aunt Shannon, who also showed no emotion, expression of being
Showed them.
devastated from Naziah going missing. She stated that she had friends help look for Naziah, but was directed to just wait until the morning to call the police. A grown woman who likely suspected something strange going on didn't feel the need to call the police either. They were both able to go to sleep at night without hearing from
And
Naziah.
y'all, the aunt had 5 children from him. How in the world did this happen to Naziah? How did this happen to Naziah and then happen to his kids, but happened to her niece, to her auntie niece? Come on, y'all. God, hey, please. Don't nobody want to hear nothing about this because see, they dead part of this. We got to care about the kids, y'all. We got to care about the children. We got to care about kids. Kids can't help themselves. That man had a fiance about as big as me. He had so many women. And make it so bad, the little baby was in the back seat putting on Naziah glasses. And the mama looked at and said, well, who glasses are these? He said, these, oh, give me them glasses right there. That man did something to that girl, y'all, and they can't find her. If he was a real man, which we know he's not, your monster, he would tell them where that girl located at. Don't nobody care. I just don't see how people cannot care, but pretends to care. But here we all on YouTube. We looking at Alec Carter talking about children missing and where are the children? Then here we is with Naziah Harris out here, and then nobody care nothing about her. That's a child as well, but don't nobody want to hear her story. She's a child as well. Now they found her clothes, they didn't find her. But just because they didn't find her, he think that what in the world could he have done with that girl? But he think he gonna get away with it. But the judge want a speedy trial on him so quick. These are her decisions after they had that preliminary trial.
Or having any indication that she was coming home that night. And of course, the defendant, who I will get to in a minute. I don't know who else failed Naziah, but he did. As far as the people establishing probable cause, I will focus on count one. As it's been stated, then there is no contention with counts two and three. In count three, I will amend based off of the motion and testimony I heard that Naziah was 12 and not 13 at the time that Jarvis Butts had sexual intercourse with her. The prosecution is correct. You do not have to have a body to establish first degree premeditated murder. It would have been a much shorter exam had her body been found, but this is where we are. In the last 365 days, no text messages. We all heard today and yesterday that she was very active and frequently texting. No social media for a year. We heard from testimony that she was also active on social media. No phone calls, which she was also able to do according to testimony. No physical signing of her by anyone. She never came back to school. No one has seen her. Medical records dated from July 2014 to October 2023 indicated that she had no life-threatening medical issues that would lead to a natural cause of death. The black hoodie found in the area of 7 Muhlenberg with her DNA and blood on it. The holes in the hoodie consistent with some sort of struggle, violence, or weapon being used. And we know that there were no holes in that hoodie when she wore it to school. We saw a picture of her in a black hoodie on her last day that everyone saw her. I do believe her grandma testified truthfully about the sweatshirt that she had on, and that was practically good. And the border agent, who said that no evidence of animals would have destroyed the clothing or the shoes to possibly lead to animals tearing up that hoodie. The clear glasses found in the blue Nissan the day after she went missing, the behavior of the defendant when he snatched those glasses. They looked exactly like the glasses she had on in her last picture, according to the witness. The shoes that her brother described as the same shoes that were found also in the area of 7 Muhlenberg near the hoodie. While this is still probable cause, the evidence all points to Jarvis Butts. His locations, him being seen with her last, the abortion searches, the abrupt silence between the two of them in text messages, and the constant lies he told throughout the entire investigation. And they were proven to be lies with text messages and other testimony. We may never know what happened, but from what I heard today and over the last 4 or 5 days, it appears he intended to perform what he thought was a do-it-yourself abortion on Isaiah. It went south, and instead of seeking medical attention for her, he intentionally killed her and tried his best to cover it up. As much as I want her to be alive today, there is at least probable cause to show and believe that she's dead and she was murdered by Jarvis Butts. Mr. Butts, stand up.
Tell him, get him, Judge, get him.
You've been sitting over there for 4 days with your head down, hidden between and behind your attorneys, with your mask on.
And he did, y'all. He hid behind the lawyer the whole time, and he had his mouth covered up. Then nobody knew who he was when they came in the courtroom. He cut his hair so they wouldn't recognize him, y'all. That's why when he came in the court, the grandmama didn't know who he was. Cordell, I think his name Cordell, the one named King who was with him, who saw the girl. He didn't even know who he was because he looked totally different. And then another lady came in there, didn't see him. He looked a total different, y'all, like what he looked now. So he hid behind that his lawyer right there, that tall man, had his head down. He ain't cried not one time when they spoke on Zanaya, because it's gonna be on his conscience. We don't know where she is. We don't know where that baby is, and he won't even tell us where she is. He won't tell nobody. Now, how could he just sit over there and look like that? I don't go by nobody look. Look at him. He could at least tell them where that girl is. But I think he involved his son and his teenager son, y'all, to take her out of him. I bet you he did.
And taking vigorous notes. I want you to pay attention and listen to everything I have to say. I have been trying to figure out for the last 5 days. At one point, I thought you were cognitively impaired at the beginning of this exam, and that maybe you had the brain of a 10-year-old, and that's why you were doing such things. But as I heard more and more testimonies, you are just the true definition of a pedophile. Watching you laugh and brag about all the women you have with different women and the children and the girlfriends, and making babies to groom them, and having them in your presence, cleaning up your shop. And there are little girls around you, has nothing to do with that. You groomed Zion. You played mind games with her. We all heard that. You controlled her emotionally. She was exposed so much at such a young age. The text messages between you two were disgusting to me. And to think that she had you saved in her phone as babe for life. Nasiah deserves so much more. And while I mentioned other people that failed her, Jarvis Butts, you are the monster in this whole picture.
Look how he
She
looking.
did deserve love from her parents and everyone who was in her life. She was ignored, she was neglected, and you took complete advantage of that. She wanted someone to love her, and she would never know what that feels like. Your children deserve more. As much as the defense counsel has raised issues on count one, all that has done is raise the question of fact for the trier of fact, which means that this would be for a jury or a judge to hear in Third Circuit. I pray for the healing of all the victims and the young girls and possibly boys who have come into contact with you. As a community, we should look at this case as a prime example of how much work we have to do when it comes to protecting our children and especially our black girls. I pray for closure and healing for all those who have been traumatized by you. And for you, Dark Butts, I wish you a speedy trial and that justice be delivered. Your mind over date is January 16th.
Yeah, he got a trial. He got January the 16th, and when he's supposed to go to court trial. This man still, I just don't understand how Naziah just could. I just can't see this happening. It's too much going on in their house, y'all. Didn't nobody care nothing about the girl. Where the mama didn't even come to court, y'all. It that bad off to the mama not even around. Poor baby. Watch your kids, people. Watch your kids. Love your kids. Watch these. This man got 13 children. And I can't wait to January 16th. I want justice for Naziah Harris. I want justice for her. Because she didn't deserve this. Y'all like, share, and subscribe. And look after your kids. He took that girl to work with him. He let that girl miss the whole day out of school. I'm out, y'all.